Hi, this is John with Suspense Magazine. I have national best-selling author Wendy Corsi Staub. How are you doing?
Hi, great. Thanks, John. Great to be here.
Great. I hope you're not too cold. It is January 19th, and I know New York is a little bit on the frigid side and nice and sunny out in California.
I was just going to say, not great to be here. It would be great to be there.
It is.
You got it. Yeah. We're in the snow.
Yeah, we had a chance of a cloud the other day, but that didn't happen.
Okay, well, enjoy that sunshine.
So, your book, Dying Breath, came out last May. We did very well, got great reviews, reread it. We thought it was fabulous. And then off-air, you just said that the sequel is going to be coming out in this May. What's the title?
It was called Dying Light, and I was originally publicizing it as Dying Light, but it's been retitled by the publisher, and it is now called Dead Before Dark. So for anybody out there who had heard that I was releasing the sequel called Dying Light, this is the same book. It just has a new title.
Okay. Now, did they just not like the title, or they just decided to change it? I'm not really sure kind of how all that works.
Well, actually, my editor and I both really liked it, and it was conceived, the two books were conceived, obviously, as a duo, just two books, a duo, and so that's why we came up with those titles. But when it went to marketing, I think it was a few months ago, last fall, I guess, the marketing team felt it wasn't as strong as they wanted it to be. So I always tend to defer to marketing. That's their job, and they do it well. And so I came up with something else.
And is this going to be hardcover?
No, this is paperback, mass market paperback.
Okay. So it's going to be out in paperback in May, sometime in May. And I know that you're busy working on your next novel coming up. In fact, I think your deadline is fast approaching.
Yeah. Yes. This one is, right now I'm working on, I also write chick lit as Wendy Markham.
Right.
So the book I'm writing right now is coming out at Christmas. It's a Christmas time travel book. It's a sequel to a novel I did a couple of years ago. It featured a heroine who had breast cancer, and it was called If Only My Dreams. And this is the same character, another Christmas time travel, and it is coming from NAL. And then I am about to start writing my next thriller. So this is going to be another two-parter, another duo of books.
Okay.
And they're tentatively titled right now, but I'm not going to share that title because I don't like it. But I'm about to
push publish. 2010, right? Those are probably 2010? Okay.
So both of them will be, and they're coming from Avon this time. I'm about to switch to HarperCollins Avon Publishing. So, yeah. So it'll be both coming out probably about 6 months apart.
Now speaking of that, because I've never asked this question yet of any of the authors. So when you switched from publisher from a Berkeley over to, was it Berkeley?
I know it's Kensington.
So when you switched from them over to Avon, is that your choice, or did someone else just decide to do it, or I mean, how does that kind of work? I mean, is that just?
I've been with Kensington for a long time, since the beginning of my career, so they're great. I mean, it wasn't like we had a falling out or anything like that. They're all my friends over there, and they have my backlist. I just decided to try something new and sort of branch out a little bit and try a new publisher. So we ended on great terms, and they still have my backlist, and I'm happy to land at Avon, and I like what they've been doing with Suspense too. So.
Yes, and we're all about suspense over here is what we're about.
Yeah.
All about suspense thriller, because my wife actually noticed your works. It was probably about 6 years ago. And I don't, and she reads thousands of books. She's read thousands of books. And she picked up one of your books, and I can't remember the title of it. It's kind of losing me. But you were kind of not as well known as you are now. What book of yours kind of propels you now into more of the forefront?
Well, I broke out right around that time, probably maybe 5 years ago. It was, I first hit the USA Today bestseller list with my fourth thriller. It was called The Last Canal. and that was in 2000. And then I did a couple more, and all of a sudden I did a novel called She Loves Me Not. It was actually in February 2003, I think. And that book, out of the blue, just hit the New York Times list, and it just steamrolled ahead. It was great. It was really exciting for me. So we're not sure why that particular book broke out, but, ever since then I've been making the Times list, which makes me really happy, and sort of takes you to a new level. You never, I don't think, lose that insecurity worrying it's all going to go away tomorrow, but for now, I'm just so happy to be doing what I love and have my readers. I have the most loyal readers in the world.
Yes.
I'm building readership every day. I hear from them. I love it. And fan mail.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would definitely say, the kind of uneasiness with your work and how you write, you have no issues of ever not staying at the forefront. Without doubt.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
There's no way, because your writing is exactly what, our magazine looks for and what readers thrive to, with the suspense and the thriller and just the character development and the plot driven, and that's what it's about. And I think that your style has actually changed a little from way back when till now. That you
absolutely.
You've evolved now into just stratosphere.
Yeah, I've worked really hard on my style. It's sort of, when I look back at my earlier novels, I was writing those 15 years ago, so it's not just about the life experience that you've had since then, but it's honing the craft. I have 15 years to work. I work really hard on the prose, and, I think that's just something that is I'm always conscious of it. It's not just about telling the story, but it's about how you tell the story and being true to characters. So, but I'll tell you, my readers are very clever, and it's always been about fooling them and throwing in twists they don't see coming. And I love it when they say, "You fooled me. I couldn't guess who it was." But now they're trying to second guess me, and they're getting smarter and more clever, and they're reading my mind. So it's become more challenging with every book to throw them a curve. I try really hard to do it, but it takes a lot more work.
Right.
Later books are more complicated, I think.
And that's a good thing, because then what it doesn't do is it doesn't turn you into what you see a lot of authors coming out now with, a book every 6 months on the shelves, cookie cutter authors, that they just write the same kind of book all the time, and you kind of know where it's going to go all the time.
Right. It's very challenging. You can become formulaic, but you always have to, it's a fine line. You have to give readers what they like, what they like about your books. You have to do it every time the same way, the same thing a different way, I guess is the way to put it.
Right.
So that makes sense, you know what I mean? You have to make it fresh every time, but you do have to give them what they want and deliver. So it's hard. It's hard to stay fresh.
Now, it is a very difficult job. People think you just sit down and write, and there it is, and then there you go. And every author that I've talked to constantly, it's like a 365-day-a-year job. You're constantly doing something. You're constantly writing, or you're someplace thinking or writing, or thinking and writing.
Yeah,
never stops.
Yep. Never stops, but I don't want it to stop. I love it.
It never stops. Those creative juices just keep on going.
Right, that's what it's all about.
And you do a lot of book promotions. You're going to go out and do a lot of event signings, and I don't know if your schedule is going to be up soon for your May one, but are you going to go out a little before or a little after it comes out in May to kind of do some signings and some events?
Well, I'll be going before and after, and what I'm doing is a 50-state book tour.
Wow. Is this your first time you've done that?
Yeah, it's been ongoing. I'm not doing all 50 states this summer. I've done different legs for the last few summers, the last two, I think. So this summer we're doing the Heartland leg. The first, in April, I'll be traveling to Florida for a Romantic Times Conference. I'm actually nominated for an award down there, and I'm excited about that. So then I'll be signing probably Dead Before Dark there for the first time, and then I'll be visiting Ohio, Medina, Ohio. I'll have the whole thing up on my website. It's www.wendycorsistaub.com. But then I'll be traveling around in May signing Dead Before Dark, and